Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is John J. Gaiman coming up on the mic here, man, and today we got ourselves a special episode in the Earlham Dynasty in NCAA 14. We are here with the recruiting special where we'll go around the country, specifically in the states of Indiana, California, and Texas, to go ahead and check out some of the high school players that Earlham College is going after here in Season 1. But it should be a good one, man, so make sure you smash that like button as well as hit subscribe if you do have to be brand new to the channel. And it's been a pretty good recruiting year so far. We have 9 3-star guys that have already committed to the school. We have the 31st best recruiting class. That's actually good for third in the conference. The only teams that are ahead of us right now is Wittenberg. They have the 25th best class, and they look like a team that could be ranked any second. And Manchester University, they're 18th in the nation. They have a 4-star among with 8 3-star guys. They have the 16th best recruiting class. So it's been a really good year, and now for the first time you get to see some of the high school highlights of the better players that are in this recruiting class. So with that being said, let's get it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get this recruiting special underway. And the first guy that I want to highlight for you guys is Akeem Long. He's a 5'11", 180-pound receiver from Portland, Texas. You know, he comes in completely scouted out as a 67 overall guy. You know, seems like they have him as a possession kind of receiver, but looking at the stats, his stats aren't fantastic. He does have decent route running and, you know, has some very good carrying abilities. He will not have an issue with fumbling the football during his time at Earlham College. You can see he is confirmed to come over to the Earlham Quakers for Season 2. We're excited, very much so, to have Akeem Long on the squad. Up next, we have David Allen, who's from Berea, California. The 6', 198-pound back would be a huge help for us in the backfield. He brings a ton of athleticism for us. You see that 87 speed, that would be a huge upgrade at the running back position for sure. As you see the speed on screen, man, this kid is, you know, able to be very elusive, so definitely love to see that. It's higher than that 74 that's mentioned up above. Does have to work on his catching in the backfield. You know, wasn't really asked to catch the ball much during his time in high school. Only 54 catching, which is probably a big reason why. But that being said, we're in a close recruiting battle between us and San Jose State. It's a really close one right about now. You know, only a 500-point difference. You know, I don't know how this battle's going to go, to be honest with you, considering, you know, San Jose, it's in their home territory. But, I mean, look at this. You can see the versatility on screen. This is why we're going after him so far. Not only is he able to, you know, get some really good carries out of the backfield as well, but he can bring some good returns to the table as well, and we would definitely appreciate bringing that to the table as well. Not only that, he does have a couple of good moves that we can go to as well. He has an 80 spin move as well as an 80 juke as well on top of that we can go ahead and try to utilize in order to get the most out of David Allen if he does end up deciding to go to Earlham College instead of going to the San Jose Spartans here to start Season 2 of the Dynasty, as we're trying to build our team from the ground all the way back up to the very top of college football. For the next guy that we got going up on screen, we have David Taylor, who reigns from Griffith, Indiana, and he's one of the best skill position guys that we are going after in our recruiting class. He's got 69 overall. He has fantastic speed, 88 speed. Now, one thing that is concerning with this guy, he only has a 50 tackle, and some of you said back in the first Earlham Big Football podcast, you know, when we're going after David Taylor, is maybe moving the free safety because of that tackling. But, you know, we'll definitely have to see about that. He does have good ball skills, and he does, at the very least, have the ability to go ahead and be a willing tackler for us. So maybe that 50 tackle is something that we can improve upon, you know, which is a guy that, you know, he's going to get some early playing time right away. It's a young squad that we have here at Earlham. So, I mean, it's going to be an all hands on deck kind of thing. But That being said, he definitely has the skills of what it takes to compete at the Division I college football level. Up next, we have outside linebacker Jerry Henley, and for this guy, we're in a close battle with him. It's a two-way race between us and Transylvania, who's also in their very first season. Seems like a guy who's very instinctive, likes being in the backfield, a guy that can do a little bit of everything. Speed is 76, but has good acceleration. Also has solid tackling, good hit power, so he can definitely force some fumbles for us as well if he has the right angle, and has solid skills in terms of getting off blocks on top of being able to cover when asked to do so. Hopefully we can bring this guy in as well. He would be a great addition to our squad. On top of that, we'll see, man. It's a two-way race. Gotta take care of business. Keeping it in the state of California, up next is Justin Burton, a free safety from El Centro, California. We already have a confirmed commitment from this guy, and we are so excited for him. He is 6'5", 225 pounds. So that's going to really help him in one-on-one situations if he's lined up against a receiver. We can create our very own Revis Island, especially once he develops those coverage skills. He only has 61 man and 66 zone coverage, which is a little concerning to see, but I love his athletic abilities, given that he does have a 6'5" frame that we can go ahead and work with. So excited to welcome this kid onto the squad going into Season 2 of the Earlham Dynasty in NCAA 14. The next notable prospect that I wanted to go ahead and talk about is also a product that centers from California. Kevin Russell, who is 6'3", 248 pounds, has very good speed for a linebacker, has 80 free speed, and also has the instincts to go with it as well. On top of that, the play recognition, could use a little bit of work, and doesn't hit very hard for a tackle, but is a surefire tackler at the Division I level. And if we can get those cover skills right, he could be a very good all-around linebacker with athleticism that is simply hard to deal with as an offensive player at the collegiate football level. You love to see it, and the best thing is he is going to be an Earlham commit. So we'll be able to work with this guy starting with Season 2. Can't wait to see what kind of future this kid can have when it's all said and done. You'll love to see it. Keeping with the linebacker theme, we have Nate Hunt, who is confirmed to be committed to Earlham College, the San Bruno, California product. Also has some good speed on him as well. A 66 overall guy. And I know you're probably wondering, why is there such an emphasis on linebackers? Part of our house rules is that we actually can't, there actually isn't any defensive lineman interested in us in our pipeline states. So gonna focus in on the linebackers so that we can focus in on, having that athleticism in the front seven. Speaking of that athleticism, the next guy that I want to go ahead and work with is we have a quarterback named Ryan Kidd. He's a three-star prospect from Lafayette, Indiana, known as a scrambler, and he has 80 speed, which is really nice to see, be able to work with him. His throwing ability is also decent as well, has 73 throw power and 66 accuracy. We're doing what we can with our quarterbacks, but just not having the ability to throw the ball down the field has certainly hammered our ability to get some points on the board. And this offense, it's capable, even with walk-on receivers, to do some serious damage. So I certainly like to see that. Having this kid on the squad, it's going to be such a great fit for us going into Season 2. Simply because I know our offensive line still isn't going to be great. So we need a quarterback that is going to have the ability to run for his life, but yet also have the ability to make some throws for us. And I think Ryan Kidd can do that. We just have to make sure that he has the ability as well to go ahead and keep himself healthy, man, because that's going to be a requirement while we're still trying to build up our offensive line going into Season 2 in our Earlham Dynasty. So that being said, he is an Earlham commit, and I am excited to see what he can do as our starting quarterback potentially for this football team moving forward. And for the final prospect that we are looking at, we have Theo Davis, who's from a really small high school in Florence Graham, California. Now, he looks faster than his 73 speed, but that is because he plays small-time high school football. But this is still a kid. When I look at the film, he's a guy that's very instinctual. Don't know what his ceiling necessarily is as a linebacker, because only that 73 speed could be a concern. So I actually might move him to the defensive line, depending on what kind of situation our defensive line is looking at the end of the season. But I'm looking at this kid. This kid is capable of playing. And that being said, whether he does play at the linebacker position or play on the defensive line, he's a kid that can step up day one. So now that we took a look at the more notable prospects that are on our recruiting board as of right now, we'll go ahead and take a look at, some other prospects that Earlham College is looking at. Starting off, we have Adam Thomas, and I know that kickers, they aren't the most exciting pieces of a college football team, but this is a guy that could be a real difference maker. The number 3 ranked kicker in this recruiting class from Washington, Indiana. He's got himself a boot to work with. 84 kick power, 84 kick accuracy. He's going to be great for field goals as well as for kickoffs as well. He's already committed to sign with the Quakers here in season 2. Another guy that we're going after pretty tough right now is Omar Andrews. He's also a 3-star guy from South Bend, Indiana. We're in a tight battle for him. He is a 28th ranked center in this recruiting class, and he's got some decent blocking abilities with solid run and pass blocking, and we're in a tight one with Bluffton University. And speaking of them, I think we actually host him on a recruiting visit this week, but we closing the gap on him. We are gaining by 115 points, so depending on how this recruiting visit goes, if we can get him signed before week 13, he will be a lock to join our squad here in season 2 as well. AJ Mckenzie is also a guy that we're looking at. He's 5'11", 211 from Wichita Falls, Texas. He's a 48th ranked running back, and he would be a nice little like thunder and lightning, with David Allen being a little bit of the lightning kind of guy, whereas AJ Mckenzie, he's more of a power back. He's gonna try to run you over, try to truck you, matter of fact. Even though we still need to develop that. And this one's a little bit questionable. We're a little bit of a long shot to get AJ Mckenzie. We're 1,800 points. We're closing the gap, but I don't know if it'd be enough to be considered. It looks like he will probably sign with Mid-Tennessee State. Finally, another person that I want to go in depth with is Matt Pratt. He's from Brownsburg, Indiana. He's the 123rd ranked corner in this recruiting class, but he's still a 3-star prospect. He's a little undersized. He's 5'9", 174, so it'll be easy for him, to get picked on a little bit of one-on-one balls. But what he does have solid coverage skills, which we do desperately need that, and he is a lock to sign with us. We're just waiting for him to sign on that dotted line. Finally, there's 3 offensive linemen that we're going after that, aren't very good, but they can be considered bodies on this squad, because remember, we only have 48 players on the roster, and 2 of them's the kicker and punter, so we only have 46 players to play offense and defense. So Ryan Yates, he's a 57 overall guy. He's a little bit better than expected, but still not great. We're in a tight recruiting battle, though, with Rose Holman and Franklin in order to get his services. Cornell Smith is a 2-star tackle from Evansville, Indiana, and he's not very good. Only a 53 overall. Doesn't bring too terribly much to the table. Not very quick. Gonna definitely need some development, but because of our shortage in players, he might have to play some football early and often in his freshman campaign, even though it may not be ideal. And same thing could be said for Brian Morris as well. He's a 2-star guy from down in California, 138th ranked guard, and he's actually considered a bust, but usually I would just go remove him off the board and then go after somebody else. But remember, unless everybody on the board signs with somebody, we can't add or remove players, at least until we get into the off season. So we're stuck with them, and honestly, we need bodies as well. We're pretty well ahead for Brian Morris, but it looks like Cal and UNLV are catching up a little bit. So we'll see what happens there. But as of right now, I think Brian Morris is going to find himself in an Earlham jersey. come season 2. So that's gonna do it for today's episode, and next time out we'll return to the collegiate football field where we'll watch your Earlham Quakers take on the Bluffton Beavers. Both of us are 1-5, but we do have a conference win, whereas Bluffton is still looking for their first conference victory of the season. We'll see if we can thwart that and get our second win of the year. So if you're excited about the recruiting special as well as enjoy what you're seeing here on the channel, I need you guys to do me a favor. Smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're new, and also leave a comment for me as well. It only takes a few seconds, but it helps grow the community here on this channel, and I appreciate all you guys tuning in. I'll see you guys next time, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care, everybody.